Breaking news tonight out of Georgia, where Republican Governor Brian Kemp just signed into law a sweeping bill restricting voting access. Passed earlier this evening by the Republican-controlled state legislature on a straight party line vote. And it comes, of course, after former President Trump's false, baseless, nonstop accusations of fraud in last year's election, particularly in Georgia, and his systematic attempts to overturn his loss in Georgia. Attempts that are being investigated by prosecutors there. The 95-page bill requires photo ID to vote by mail. They used to use signature matching, which works fine. And 1 million Georgian voters did that last year. There were no problems. It cuts the amount of time voters have to request an absentee ballot. It reduces drop boxes used for absentee ballots. Why? Who knows? It limits when they can be accessed. It makes it a crime for groups to hand out food and water to voters waiting in line. Also, again, why? Who knows? In a state where we've seen some of the longest lines to vote in the country. It shortens the time frame for runoff elections, including the time frame for early voting in those runoff elections. It pulls authority from the Secretary of State, who, just coincidentally, refused to allow former President Trump to cheat in last year's election and overturn the results. And crucially, it hands more power to the legislature. It gives lawmakers the power to start takeovers of local election boards. Voting rights advocates and Georgia Democrats slammed the bill. One state senator calling it a Christmas tree of goodies in terms of voter suppression, adding it's about the opportunity to keep control and keep power at any cost. Another lawmaker calling it an unabashed assault of voting rights unlike anything we've seen since the Jim Crow era. It is impossible to ignore the breathtaking cynicism at play here. Let's remember the context. Republicans lost the presidential election in Georgia last year. They proceeded to lose both Senate runoff elections in January, all of them by relatively narrow margins. Their own Republican Secretary of State confirmed many times the election was completely free and fair. In fact, it wasn't just free and fair. The Georgia election was the most audited, recounted election in all of America last year during the national election. They counted the ballots 3 times, including once by hand. Okay? And this is how they are responding, Republicans in the state, trying to make it just so less people can vote. So just the people they want to vote can vote. And it's not just happening in Georgia, of course. Republicans in at least 40 states have introduced, pre-filed, or carried over at least 253 bills that would restrict voting access. That's just this year, according to the Brennan Center. Earlier this month, as we reported on this program, Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds signed a new law cutting the state's early voting period down by 9 days, tightening the timeline for when absentee ballots must be received in order to be counted, stripping county auditors of much of their discretion in running elections, including establishing satellite in-person early voting sites and mailing absentee ballot request forms to voters who didn't specifically ask for one, limiting who could return a voter's absentee ballot, closing the polls an hour earlier on Election Day. Again, why? Why? Well, just because it makes it harder to vote, and maybe that confers a marginal advantage on Republicans. That's why. In his first presidential press conference this afternoon, Joe Biden spoke out forcefully against these measures.
What I'm worried about is how un-American this whole initiative is. It's sick. It's sick. Deciding in some states that you cannot bring water to people standing in line, waiting to vote. Deciding that you're going to end voting at 5 o'clock when working people are just getting off work. Deciding that there will be no absentee ballots under the most rigid circumstances. The Republican voters I know find this despicable. Republican voters.
Georgia Governor Brian Kemp spoke shortly after signing the new bill, claiming the restrictions are needed and would even bring more people to polls.
With Senate Bill 202, Georgia will take another step toward ensuring our elections are secure, accessible, and fair. The facts are that this new law will expand voting access in the Peach State.
I mean, it quite literally makes it harder to vote. That's not even a matter of dispute. I mean, maybe there'll be enough of a backlash that more people vote, but it doesn't expand access. And while Governor Kemp was speaking, there was some sort of commotion in his office. I don't know if you saw it live, but the video broadcast cut off. And we now know that a Democratic lawmaker, State Representative Park Cannon, was knocking on the door to his office to witness the bill signing, and she was forcibly removed and arrested dragged out. Watch.
Arrest! For what reason am I under arrest? Speak to me! Why am I under arrest? There is no reason for me to be arrested. I am a legislator. Do not touch me! Why are there 3 officers touching me? I am not doing anything! I am literally not doing anything.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.